All right, second pool video. Now I'm going outside. The pool has a vacuum. It's not that old, actually. I replaced it maybe 5 years ago. It has 2 skimmer baskets. Here's another one right here. It has an automatic makeup system, so you'll hear this run every so often. So there's a level switch inside here when it gets low. It has, let's go to the back, to the pumps. Okay, let's go to this. All right. This right here is the main pump. That is a variable speed drive pump. Now you'll notice I have it zip tied. Why do I have it zip tied? I'll tell you why. Because my pool service guys like to use the controls on that pump when they come to do their service. And what happens is they leave it in a condition that the pump runs continuously and the program doesn't shut it on and off. And that makes me very upset because I don't realize it and I get large electric bills because my pump's running nonstop. Okay, this is the suction side of the pump. Excuse me. These are the inlet to the pump. So I can pull from the spa and I can pull from, I gotta think. What are these two for? One is for the skimmer and one is for the vacuum. I can't remember which one's which. So if you're not skimming enough, you can move this valve. It's a 3-way valve and you can make it skim more and it'll vacuum less. So again, one's for the vacuum, one's for the skimmer. I can't remember which one's which. This is pulling from the spa. So when it goes into spa mode, this pump will no longer pull from the pool at all. It'll pull only from the spa. There's the inlet basket, goes into the pump. It's a centrifugal pump. It comes out of the pump, goes into the filters, which I just replaced last year. So there's 4 cartridges in there and I just replaced them. These cartridges are cleaned twice a year from Atlas. That is not enough. This is, I think, faulty, and I have a brand new one for you. I got to go find it and I'll lay it out and have the guy put it in there for you. You'll notice when it gets up to about 12, maybe 20 PSI, it needs to be cleaned. Now, why do I say it needs to be cleaned more than twice a year? Well, it's because of these wonderful things right here behind me from the neighbors. These are called elms, and in the fall, they drop all these little leaves, and in the spring, they have these really funky pollen things, all of which gets in the basket, or the pool, goes through the pump because it's really small, and gets into the filter. And you'll notice that the flow of water isn't working, and that's because the filters are clogged. The heater won't work either because the heater needs a certain amount of water. So you can have Atlas clean it a second or third time, or do it yourself. It's not that hard, but you've got to have the right tools. Okay, out of the filter, it always goes through the heater, whether the heater's running or not, comes out of the heater, and now I can go 2 different locations, okay? I can go back to the pool, or I can go to the spa. There's always a slip stream that goes to the spa. That's what that is right here. That's an orifice plate. So there will always be a little water when it's when the pump is running, going to the spa and up and over the little spa overflow. This pump right here is the waterfall pump. It's completely isolated. It only runs 30 minutes a day. It is not a variable speed pump. It only has one on off, and it goes through the filter, out and back. There's a filter basket. That's the suction, comes out right here and out. Looks like you can drain. I don't know why. Maybe that's one way to drain the pump or the pool. I don't use that, but okay. What are these right here? This is my electrical connections. Those are where the smaller one is where the electrical wires from the spa come for the light. The larger one is where the spa wires come from the pool. Here is the box that the Atlas Pool Supply people should be using when they do any work, which is why I've prevented them from opening that other one. I can go into auto, service, or I can time out. It should be an auto when they're done, because actually that's not true. It can be in service, which allows you to turn on and off things individually. So I just turned on the filter pump myself, and you can hear it priming. I can turn the waterfall pump on individually. Okay, I can turn on pool lights, spa lights. I'm not sure what all the aux are, and I can turn them off. Now, time out. What does that do? What that does is the service people could potentially leave it in a certain condition and leave it in timeout, and after a certain amount of time, it will go and switch back to auto. That's what they should use. They should never use that control over there on top of the pump, because then you'll end up not knowing that your pump is running 24 hours a day, especially when you're on vacation, and then you're paying for all that electricity, and that very much makes me annoyed. So let's see, what else do I have over here on the pole? I don't know if it's in there or not. There is a product that I purchase every year on the inlet of that pump. I plop it in there. It's called RX, Pool RX, like prescription, like the capital letter R, lowercase x, and it's called Pool RX. I get it on Amazon. There's 2 sizes. You get the bigger one. You plop it in there in the spring, and you put it in that filter basket, and it does it. I cannot get over. I am an expert, by the way, in water chemistry because of my background. I am so impressed with that product. I used to have algae problems every once in a while. I mean, just because it's Bakersfield, it's hard to keep. Ever since starting to use Pool RX, it just gives an extra boost to the chlorine. I have never had an algae breakout. So once a year, I spend $70 and plop one of those in there. In fact, I don't even put it in there. I just lay it on top of the pump, and the pool guy knows to throw it in there. And then it stays there until the next year, until you get put another one in there. Okay, that's what I got for the pool. It's awesome. It's one of our most amazing things. Oh, that's not true. Okay. There's some controls over there. I can't see. And my trees, I left my trees very large this year for showing the house because they're so dramatic, but I normally cut them way back. You'll see a controller right there. You can turn on and off the light. You can turn on and off the pool light, I think. You can turn on and off the heat. And I'll be honest with you, I never use that, and I can't remember which one goes to what. I wish I did, and they're not labeled. I knew at one point 10 years ago, but because I never use it, I don't know. But it was a nice feature. You can actually have Brad change those. So you're sitting out here and you want to be able to turn the lights on and off, or, oh my gosh, I'm too hot. I want the pool heat to be not enabled. That's what those are for, so that you don't have to get out of the hot tub while you're here. Okay? Now the speakers in the sound system, I'm going to let Paul teach you about those. There are the brand new speakers. There's one over there. It's amazing. The pool is its own separate circuit, so you can play music out here in the pool, and while people are inside listening to something else. So you can listen to yours while your kids are doing something different. This is one of the most amazing pools. I love it. We've enjoyed it. I hope you enjoy it as much as we did.